Planning briefing for August 13th. So here's a look at the weather threat matrix. We're expecting a warm up into the weekend, becoming progressively drier as well, and then introducing some thunderstorm activity in central Idaho by Sunday and into the rest of the area Monday and Tuesday. Here's the water vapor imagery. You can see the remnants of moisture from the tropical storm Elida moving into central California. And also you can see a trough kind of moving through the Northern Rockies and a very large ridge in the northeastern Pacific. Here's a look at high temperatures for Sunday, getting into the 90s into low 100s in Idaho. Min-RHs are generally in the teens to 20s and could be a little lower in a few places. Sunday nights, as you can see, the thermal belts are starting to get active, pretty warm in the mid-slopes, but should be some good recoveries in some of the valley locations. Okay, I'm going to pivot now from the forecast and kind of go into a little bit of a climate discussion to kind of explain how this heat wave coming up compares to other heat waves in mid to late August, and then I will end it with a case where there was some fire starts from dry lightning. I look back at, the top 10 kind of like mid to late August 4-day heat waves, just looking at max temperature averages. 1969 was the hottest. Then you have 67, 2008. I put in the current forecast for Missoula and came up with a 95.8, which would be like the 8th hottest, mid to late August. But if you use the 90th percentile from the NBM, the average temperature is 98, which would be tying the 1967 event. Just wanted to show you what it looked like back in 2008, which was 12 years ago, or last heat wave in like mid to late August. Orofino basically got to like 105, 104 Kuski, Riggins 108, Yellow Pine Bar 105, Pierce got to 100, Powell got to 96. Looking at Montana, Libby got to 105, 99 in Kalispell, 100 in Missoula, 100 in Stevensville, 92 Dillon, and 90 in Anaconda. I looked at some of those years to try to find a match as far as the upper level patterns. The only one that I really could find where upper level conditions were very similar in magnitude and also where the ridge placement was 1940. Interesting to see similar forecast temperatures, but back then Missoula only hit 94. Not sure about cloud cover or whatnot, but there was some rain reported across southwest Oregon, Nevada, Utah on the 18th. And if you look at the next day, so this would be Tuesday next week, very similar where the ridge placement is. And back in 1940, Orofino got that 109, pretty hot. So it was when that ridge axis starts shifting to the east is where we started to warm up, at least here in Missoula, and some of the other places as well. There were some traces of rain reported in the southern Idaho and also in like Washington, Nevada, Utah. So looking at the next day, so the left side is the GFS. It's got a short wave moving through, which would be bringing dry air to northwest Montana. Looking at the ensembles don't really have such a potent short wave. Regardless, looking at the 1940 case, the ridge axis still kind of shifted to the east a little bit, and there was a trough kind of moving on shore. Then on that date, I was curious, so I looked up the newspapers. On the 20th, some of that monsoon moisture did bring some dry lightning to the Bitterroot National Forest. And I think that was like the hardest hit in our area back in that pattern. Now, take this with a grain of salt. Not every what we call matching analogs can be useful, but I mean, this kind of goes along with what we're thinking about potential for some dry lightning coming up with this pattern. Looking at total precipitable water, it's a normalized anomaly, and with winds at approximately 5,000 feet. This is going to kind of show us the dry air moving in on Friday and then into the weekend. And as you can see here, there's some moisture down south of California. This is remnants of Tropical Storm Elida. So this subtropical moisture is going to shift northward with time on Saturday and then start to make it up here on Sunday. And that's where we think that the best chance for isolated thunderstorms on Sunday would be across our north central Idaho. And then Sunday night into Monday, there could be some issue of cloud cover. Sometimes this product may be showing moisture, but it might be more of a high level moisture in the form of cirrus clouds. And we're still heating up, but we're expecting, pretty mild nighttime temps. Thermal belts pretty active. Tuesday, just we still have that moisture lingering around under the hot ridge. The 6 to 10 day outlook is looks relatively dry, hotter than normal. If you have any questions, give us a call at 329-4840.